from what it looks like, the rates of AGP thoughts are way higher in black pill communities, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with the pills, but black pill is like incels, basically.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, I can.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm like very new to Discord, so I don't really understand how these rooms work. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you for meeting with me.
Oh, thank you for
Cool.
meeting with me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're recording. Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. I should say the article I'm writing is relatively short, but I'm more generally interested in the transmaxing phenomenon and just hearing your perspective. I thought your YouTube videos were very interesting. And also, I'm just fascinated by your project of collecting this data on like connections between incels and the whole transmaxing thing. Like, can you tell me more about how you
Yes.
doing that, or sort of what the nature of that project is?
So the project is actually probing for, okay, I'm going to use some slightly controversial language because of,
Yeah, go for it.
yeah, but the study is actually probing for autogynephilic thoughts in various communities. And it's not a very good study. I'm not like a professional researcher or anything, but there was a study that was released like 2 weeks ago by this person named Tail Called that is just generally going over like kinks, basically. And AGP or autogynephilia is present in like 3 to 15% of cis men in like natural populations outside of the internet, which is kind of crazy. But in that same note, I was doing this study like right before that came out. But that's something you might want to look. Anyways, so then this new data I'm collecting is to see how many people are holding thoughts or tendencies that are frequent with something like AGP or autogynephilia, which is really just like the predisposition to be trans plus trauma. So in doing that, I'm trying to figure out, what percent of these populations are experiencing things like that compared to the like baseline of cis men populations out in the wild, quote unquote. And from what it looks like, the rates of AGP thoughts are way higher in black pill communities, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with the pills, but black pill is like incels, basically.
Yeah, so I think I have my pill straight. So red pill is just you go conservative, right? It's kind of like a trad.
Kind of, not even conservative, but it's trad. It's very trad, very like aggressive, toxic masculinity, like Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson. Yeah.
Okay, so that's red pill, and then black pill is like I'm in the manosphere or something.
The black pill is like I'm an incel. Like
Yeah.
lookism, genetics, a lot of. They're like, they see themselves as like the scum of all men, basically. Like the bottom, I think it's technically 5%, but they're like bottom 20 is what they say.
Okay,
but they're
so
not actually. They're just autistic.
Yeah. So what you have been finding is that there is there's a particularly high incidence of AGP among people in these black pilled communities, basically.
Well, before I answer that, what is the purpose of your article? Like, are you trying to slander these people? Or are you trying to like just informative on it? Or like, what is your background, I guess?
So my background is I'm specifically interested in transmaxing. I am not interested in slandering anyone. I basically just think that this is, because I read the manifesto and I've been on the Discord.
The manifesto is intense.
The manifesto is really, it's kind of hard to differentiate what is serious and what is kind of like shit posting in the manifesto, I think. Yeah. Because there's like seemingly serious advice about dosing estrogen and stuff, right? And then there's like this section on forced feminization, which basically reads like erotica. It's like your pants will be pulled down and, someone will inject you with estrogen and like your breasts will start growing and stuff. And so it's like that, there's parts of it that just seem like, it seems ironic or like some sort of sexual fantasy, but then there are these other parts that seem very serious. And I guess the guy who wrote it, Vintology, who put it together, he himself is not trans.
Correct. Although I do have an inkling that he has the predisposition.
Yeah, I'm not really, I was talking to him and he basically said, well, he was sending me, I posed a bunch of questions to him and he basically sent me a bunch of one-line responses.
Yeah, that's what he does.
But he said that he basically started the transmax discourse to improve people's lives and that he had originally intended it to be a solution for incels. Like transmaxing could be a solution for incels because, he said basically 2 young incels could transition and then date each other. That was his explanation for that. So I guess all of this is to say, my interest is really just sort of explaining what this phenomenon is. I don't really have any specific, I mean, the Substack I'm writing for is not really that political, I don't think, nor are they specifically interested in like trans issues or anything like that. So I think it's more just, seems like a sort of niche phenomenon that people might be interested in reading about.
It is. And I guess I just want to clarify that, would you agree with the idea of like radical feminism?